Hello, it's Jenny from Ginger Crafts. How are you? I hope you're doing well. I am here because it's Tuesday, so it's time for Tag Tuesday. And this is a collab that's hosted by the lovely Shirley over at Handmade by Shirley. You'll find her link in the description box below. You should definitely go and check her out. She's fabulous. And each week, Shirley gives us a prompt, and you can join in if you would like to make a tag. So this week's prompt is bubbles. So I have had a lot of fun making some bubble printed papers. So if you want to see how to make this paper using some watercolours and some washing up liquids, and then how I made this little tag, then please keep watching. Okay, so this is the papers that I have created. Now, some of them were kind of early doors, not a lot of bubbles, but there is, like, especially the metallic, that one's a wee bit of a dud. I think this was the very first one I did. Just some bubbly bits, and then these two. So what I observed on Instagram was using cling film, and I only had the tiniest piece of cling film left. And I don't really like cling film. I didn't want to buy more cling film, so I used what I had left to make this one. And then this one I had made with the Polly Pocket, which I have got a whole bundle of. So I think you can see that it doesn't really matter. Once I got to grips with the technique, which I have probably forgotten about because I did these last weekend, I think, maybe. But anyway, we shall see. So I'm going to show you what I did. But I will use one of these ones, I think, so that I can get the video done without more drying time. So I'm just going to cut this so that I just use the one side. I can get twice as much. And I have pre-cut some pieces of my mixed media paper that I'm going to use. This is, what is it called? It's from Shore and Marsh. I bought it as A3 30 sheets of mixed media paper, and it's quite thick. Does it say what it is? Oh, that's interesting. It doesn't say the weight of it, but it's pretty thick, and I think I bought it because it was on special offer. And you know me, I like a bargain. So I've got some watercolour paint here. This is my Elizabeth Craft Designs little palette. And I've got this, which is Gansai Tambi gem colours. And these are the sort of metallic-y ones. So I'm going to take a piece of my paper and put this over it. I'm gonna spritz and just dot the paints onto the plastic. I'm going to try and stick to the kind of area where the paper's underneath it, because obviously that's going to be the size of it. So I might try and do a sort of purpley one. Maybe a bit of blue as well. I'm just doing sort of random. When I did kind of big splashes, I didn't get as much kind of detail. So I'm trying to do little dotty bits and have paint kind of all over the area. Bit of this one too. I think what I learned from doing it was you don't want enough paint, but you don't want it to be totally sodden with it, that you maybe don't get the bubbles forming. You know what I mean? If it's too wet, it'll just kind of splat, and you'll get the big bits of colour, which is fine. Now, I followed a tutorial on how to do the bubbles. Okay, I am going to call that a day. So, what I have got is, this is the same pot I have used for all of these, and as you can see, I've still got loads. So, I think take a smallish jug or cup, put enough washing up liquid to cover the bottom of your cup, and then as long as it's not too wide, kind of about half fill with cold water, and then give it a really good stir so that the water and the soap are kind of together. And then you're going to want to blow and don't soak, because it'll taste horrible. Okay, so I've got loads of bubbles here. I'm going to work with this other piece, and I'm going to sort of add them onto there. Got this lot. Okay. Okay. So the more bubbles, the more effect you're going to get. Okay. Put that there. Save that bit for the next one. Put that here. Take my painty, lay it on top, and then see how the bubbles have picked up the colour, and then I'm going to let that sort of sink itself a little bit. So you can see it's it's already starting to do its thing. Now I did see somebody else did it with, what did they call them? Granulating watercolours? I don't know what that is. I need to Google what that is. Anyway, right, I think I'm just going to let this do its thing for about half an hour. And then I'm going to take off the plastic and then let it dry. So I'm going to crack on with making my tag, and we'll come back at the end of that and see how this one has worked out. But it's really good fun. Okay, so I think what I might do is use this just because it's a wee bit narrower than the other one, but we'll see. We'll see. The other thing I'm using for this is this old Papercraft Society box that I have kept, and I don't think used it at all. It was Olga. What was Olga's name? Oh goodness, sorry, don't know that I can pronounce that. But it had a bubbly theme, so I thought, oh dear, I've dropped it. Even the folder is all bubbly. But it came with this bubbly embossing folder, which I don't think I'm going to use for this project. And stamps and the dies. Now I've already done a bit of die cutting, so I used the little girl die, and because when I think of bubbles, I think of I'm forever blowing bubbles. So I've already coloured her in. And there was also these kind of bubble sort of bits. So I have cut them out, once of white and also in holographic, because that feels like the right choice. But these are the other ones. You get this kind of bubbly border, you get the circles, you get the little duck, relax, cheers, enjoy. Yeah, really nice. And then these, you can see you get the sort of champagne and beer side, the bath, which is very cute. Have a bubbly day, bring on the bubbles, lovely bubbly, leave your troubles in the bubbles. I'm blown away by your kindness. You get the picture. And then I think this is like little sort of bubble embellishments, if memory serves me right. Yeah. So these as well. So I think what I'm going to do is just use the whole of the background on my tag. So this is the tag size that I use. And because the paper is a little bit warped, I think what I'll do is just stick it on with some double-sided tape and then cut round the back of it. So I'm going to pause while I do that. Okay, so here is my bubbly tag, and I've realised afterwards I could have used the whole sheet of the sticky stuff, but I didn't. I just used the thick double-sided tape. So that's quite cute. And then I should put my hole in before I forget. This one. Here we go. And now the blue or more of the turquoisey? I think the turquoise. Oh, now There we go. Right, so here is the basis of my tag. I want to pop her on. I want her to be the most of the sort of image. I don't really want to do too much because I don't want to cover up the bubbly papers, if that makes sense. Maybe just have her add some bubbles. Is that a bit boring? Let's see. Maybe do you know, on a Friday afternoon when I was at primary school, we used to have a bit of a sort of sing-song. We used to have the deputy head teacher played the piano and she used to have her class in. And we would sing songs, and one of the songs we used to sing was I'm Forever Blowing Bubbles, because there was a cat that used to come and hang about in the school. It didn't belong there, but I don't know where it lived really. And it was called Bubbles. It was grey. It was a beautiful cat. So we used to sing, amongst many other things, but we used to sing I'm Forever Blowing Bubbles. So this reminds me of that. Although I will say poor Bubbles came to a bit of a sticky end when one of the boys in my class, this is so sad, his mum didn't spot that Bubbles was lounging about in the driveway and reversed, and poor Bubbles got squished. What can you do? Cats sometimes do lie places that make their lives a bit shorter. But yeah, poor Bubbles. I wonder if I might make a little word sort of strip to put on that says I'm Forever Blowing Bubbles, because that is not an option that's available, and I could put that somewhere down here maybe. Oh, they're quite cute, aren't they? Now these teeny tiny ones I want to use as well. Now, oh, what have I done with my... Ooh. me just try and wing it. Now you see, oh, there it is. It's tricky to spot where you put the glue. Such a nice effect. And I had a lot of fun with it. I'm going to probably do a bit more of the papers because I've got some of that wash it up liquid left. So yeah, I'm going to pause you. I'm going to make my little words and then I'll come back and show you the finished product. Okay, so I just printed out I'm Forever Blowing Bubbles, Pretty Bubbles in the Air, and I've cut it down and put it in, and I'm trying to decide what to do for some trim at the top. Now, I know this is random colours, but I thought the green might be a possibility. I wondered about the pom-pom trim, but that'll never go through the hole, so I don't think I'm going to do that. Or maybe some eyelash trim. I have had this in my stash for such a long time. I think it was an old QVC craft kit, like a scrapbook kit or something. And maybe the pinky purpley one somebody's gifted me in a swap actually, but the white and the green. Would the green go? I like this little ribbon. Or maybe this sort of, that's quite good, isn't it? Right. Maybe do a bit of this. A bit of that. Maybe a little bit of white. There's the end of it. Now, can I get this to go through? Probably not. Let's have a go. Oh, okay, so not that one. Now have I got? Here's my pokey tool. Can I get my... Can I get it through without... Yes, there we go. Right. Now, me. There we go. So here we are. I'm Forever Blowing Bubbles, Pretty Bubbles in the Air, made with my bubbly painted paper and a pretty ancient Papercraft Society box. And yeah, I think that's quite cute. I can't wait to see what everybody else is doing for this one. I think there could be quite a lot of creative ideas. It's a great prompt. So thank you so much for watching. Please let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll be back very soon with another video. I forgot to show you the paper that I made at the beginning. So here it is. It's still got the plastic on it. So I'm just going to peel that plastic off. And this still needs to dry, but the pattern is there. So yeah, lots of bubbles. That's quite fun, isn't it? I think there's going to be a whole lot of bubbly ATCs or something getting made in my craft room because I think I'm going to be a wee bit addicted to this. But yeah, sorry I forgot to show you it, but there you go, that's it.